Amin hosts a very popular movie podcast around here, Cinephobe. We have Cinephile as well by Adnan Verk, and I want to present to the group here 3 bits of movie news. I don't know which of these you will find most interesting. We've got a Tetris movie, a movie about Tetris coming out on Apple. We have Barry Levinson is working with De Niro on another mafia-type movie where he's playing 2 crime bosses. De Niro is. The Wise Guys is the name of the movie. I have been very disappointed and judgmental about the end of career for De Niro and Pacino as they continue to make really cruddy things in their 70s. And then the third thing, the one I find most interesting, how are they going to pull this off? You know, Gladiator is doing a sequel
yeah,
with Denzel Washington.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Is he the lead?
I don't know what he's doing, but is Denzel Washington ever not the lead?
Gladiator 2, bigger and blacker.
He gonna be in the pit. He gonna be in the pit like this and making people fall out.
Yeah. Podcast only.
Oh.
It's audio. Audio only. Executive producer, go sit in the penalty box.
Damn it.
I mean, my God.
Can't wait for the part where
Jesus, too American.
Denzel's in the middle of the Coliseum and says, "Oh, you motherfucker! I'll put cases on each and every one of you."
It can't be. It's not going to be
23-hour lockdown, shoe program.
It's not going to be a 70-year-old Denzel Washington trying to do gladiator-type stunts in a Coliseum.
Oh, they
is
got
it?
Barry Keoghan as the bad guy.
Oh, wow.
He stole the show in Banshees.
It has to be a movie that is good or a script that's good for Denzel Washington to lend his name to Gladiator 2.
The
Virtuosity, my friend.
The Equalizer
Come on,
2.
man.
I mean, okay, fair enough. It is the
You can't even say that of Ridley Scott, who's attached to it because of House of Gucci, which is honestly the worst movie I've ever seen.
I'm sorry, House of what?
I gotta assume that Denzel is gonna be like an emperor, right?
No, he can't.
No.
Black.
The Emperor is Barry Keoghan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, come on,
I
man.
hope I'm
He's
pronouncing
not
his
going
name
to
right.
fight. He's not going to fight.
He's top billed so far on IMDb.
He's gonna be, okay. All right. He's gonna hit us with all the mannerisms, right?
How old is Denzel now? Is he over
60.
70? He's not.
60.
He's just
60?
60?
60 something.
I want to read to you a quote. I'm not totally sure that Amin has this right. He's got some
68. But you said 60. And then we were like, oh, he's 60? 60-something.
60 something.
I want to read to you this
He was right, though.
quote. You guys, we got to get you guys out of the drink. Everybody gets very, very buzzed very fast.
I'm already
around here.
hungover.
We haven't eaten yet.
You've already gone to the hangover portion?
I haven't eaten yet, Claire. Claire, I'm about to call you Claire. See, that's where I am right now.
I just got a parental frustration from the bowels of a hungry Roy.
While trying to prove he's not drunk. He called you his daughter's name.
I couldn't think of anything more opposite than Dan Le Batard when thinking of Claire.
I do not look like a small black princess. That is correct.
Yeah, that is correct. You're true.
We have from John Adams, the former NCAA national. Yes, from the president. Yes, the second president of the United States. Thank you, Amin. Good contribution. You're the sober one here.
You know what? I thought about making that joke, but I was not. I did not want Dan to look at me after that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's ashamed of himself. Look at him. He's doing the Stugotz thing of turning away from me and putting his shoulder, like tucking himself under his shoulder in shame so that I can't look at him for his terrible second president of the United States joke.
File, by the way.
Thanks.
And also show off that you knew that.
He's the former... Me?
Yeah, I mean the second.
Look at me, Louis.
Yeah, it's a look at me, Louis.
Yeah.
History buff.
Good said, Jefferson.
Billy, why did you have a lighter in here with the fireworks?
Well, I mean, I was told to come in here and celebrate. That's 100%. I was called from my house today via FaceTime, and they said, you should come in. It's the last day. And I said, you know what? I will do that. I will do that just for Dan. So I came in, and then you guys were talking to Ronan Farrow, who we were commenting across the hall.
Don't give him that.
We were talking across the hall. It looks like an AI-generated person. Like, I don't know if you guys were thinking that when it was happening. I don't know if it was the camera, but he looks like an AI person. that like the movement, something was off. And then I don't know if you noticed, the background is not real books; it's wallpaper of books. And then across the hall, we were talking about, well, like of course,
Those guitars weren't real in his background?
He's an AI generated person. He doesn't need real books. He just absorbs all of that information.
Just to be clear, this is the last day in the studio, not the last day of the show, right?
What does that mean?
Well, it's the last day of having Ronan Farrow on the show.
Can we not say that?
Whittingham saw Billy with a lighter and with a mixture of concern and just general Whittingham. He said he's not going to light fireworks in an enclosed place, is he?
That's what they wanted me to do.
I do.
Those fireworks.
These are big fireworks, though, is the problem.
That's a terrible idea.
No, it's from the $30 pack at Publix.
That's two slurs this segment, Chris Cody.
This hits the roof and this starts problems. If we had the little ones that like are unstable, that would be a different story, maybe.
But I feel like we should leave the studio wrecked in our wake.
Oh.
I'm sure there's some sort of security deposit you'd lose.
I mean, we've lost plenty of money with however much it costs to stay here, much longer than we expected to stay here because of how long it's taken to get into these other studios.
So what are you suggesting? Just start breaking things?
I'm thinking maybe we trash a hotel room in the name of spirited drunken fun.
Okay. Rock stardom.
The poop room?
But let me quote here the second president of the United States. Who for some reason has decided to comment on the Iowa LSU final and the officiating in that game. A strange thing to exhume him for getting,
Well, the winner goes to his house.
His former house. And the loser. And the loser. The loser gets invited by Mrs. Adams as well.
Yeah. When did the president start living in the White House in D.C.? After.
1824.
No, that's not true.
Look it up. From a fan standpoint, John Adams says, there was enormous disappointment. I should say I never got to it. He's the former NCAA national coordinator of men's basketball officiating. It's a rare title and name to have associated with the quote I'm about to read you.
Do the voice.
What voice? What voice? John Adams' voice? The second president of the United States voice?
Let me read it. From a fan standpoint, there was an enormous disappointment with how the game was officiated because the best players were not playing. Having that level of officiating in that type of game, I think, really hurt the meteoric rise of women's basketball. There is not perfect officiating anywhere, ever, but man, that was awful. John Adams, 1785.
Big news. John Adams, first guy in the White House.
Wow.
The White House's first resident.
John Quincy Adams, not John Adams.
No.
Am I right?
Was his wife named Abigail?
Abigail Adams.
That's what it says.
That doesn't clear anything up.
I mean, take your ass.
Is this what every Thursday's like?
Away from me as possible. Like, just
Denzel
I don't
Washington
care whether you
wasn't
go to
John
hell,
Q.
the ocean, or the penalty box. Just leave this room for a little while, please.
I weep for what America has become. John Adams, 1789.
By me.
And he's not drinking?
Sexual chocolate.
What?
He's just doing his own show.
This is every Thursday?
Well, no, what's
No,
happening?
typically it's
Drunk
better.
Thursday.
It's gone to his head because now he's got a new show coming out, and it's not supposed to be. He just re-signed,
Oh.
so he's just mailing the rest of it in, like the rest of his career. This is Amin El Hassan, not drunk.
It's
not-
weird because he displayed such great judgment in the contract year.
Yeah.
The other thing that I wanted to ask you about, because I didn't get very good commentary on the officiating that I'm talking about, where you've got a head of officials complaining about officiating, is everyone is complaining about officiating throughout sports. And I keep saying some version of, do you really think that all these people are incompetent, or do you think that the things that are happening out there with athletes are happening so quickly now that it's impossible to officiate anything correctly?
What bothered me most about both tournaments was they accounted for the speed and power of the game quite well on one side of the court. It's just inconsistent. Why is one team allowed to play more physical than the other? I'm not sour about what happened in Miami. UConn was a great deal better than what happened in Miami, but one team was allowed, not just because of their size, but because of how they got in on post players to defend a little bit more aggressively. And that's cool if you afford the other team the same ability. Now, also, that looks different if Miami is undersized because they'll look less physical. That's the nature of that. But in that championship game between LSU and Iowa, it did look like LSU got away with far more, was able to dig into players. And when Caitlin Clark has 3 fouls, when she's just replicating what she's seeing on the other side of the court, that does seem unfair.
I don't know going forward where you get the competent people who are going to sign up for how thankless all of this is and move into the pipeline of whatever better officiating would look like, because it's not going to, and I'm not just talking about basketball, I'm talking about the technology and our ability at home to second guess everything that's happening out there, that's happening so fast and so physically that everyone now has access to more information than the person who's closest to the action, because they get to watch it a dozen times and complain about the variety of things that are happening, when what you're talking about in basketball, for example, it's hugely physical. I feel like you could call fouls all the time.
Right, which is why so many people have question marks, rightfully so, because of all the betting scandals. There's something that happens in Europe where I think good officiating is appreciated a little bit more. They're more a cult of personalities, and I don't necessarily think it's a good idea to have celebrity refs and officials. It's better that they live life fairly anonymously, but in Europe, they get medals if they officiate a final, and you could claim that happens here in the States too, that they're rewarded with better premier assignments. But I think good officiating is far more appreciated over in Europe when it comes to soccer, which is a very difficult sport to officiate. We should do a better job here in accentuating the positive.
Oh, but this never happens. The best you can aspire to with officiating is that
just
people
simply not mention it.
Aren't commenting on it. Nobody noticed. You never hear, unless maybe there is occasionally a time I will look up in the fourth quarter of a football game and be like, man, they haven't called very many penalties in this game. I have not seen a lot of flags disrupt the action so that a bunch of old guys could go talk about something.
Nothing gets me more mad in watching officiating than just inconsistency. Because if the game is being let go and played more physically, I just want it being called the same for both teams that are playing on.
I just don't think I think we have gone past the point where this stuff can be officiated consistently, because what you're asking for is perpetual competence on something that I think breeds incompetence because of how difficult it has gotten. Like, I'm not even saying these people have gotten worse or are bad. I'm telling you that we've got more information, more angles, more people watching, more care, more emotion around all of it that makes it almost a fundamentally impossible job to do well. Hello, Ricky. Chris is going to start us here. We're using this for today, and we're running behind, so we don't really have time for niceties. We're gonna churn out content around you. No human interaction. Just make stuff. Are you ready?
Okay, let's do it.
Ricky, I don't know how often you fly Southwest, but I had something. I was flying back from Houston earlier in the week, and the way it works for people that don't know, it's board yourself. There's no assigned seats, so you're walking in. It's just first come, first serve. And when you sit down, the middle seats go last. So what happens is every aisle seat, every window seat fills up first, and then it gets to the point where people are picking middle seats. And my strategy here is to look as slovenly and as I want to seem like I smell. I want people to I am trying to seem unappealing as an unappealing passenger to sit next to. Have you ever thought of this? Do you ever fly Southwest?
Yes, I fly Southwest, and I think about it pretty much every time I fly Southwest when it's an almost packed flight. And the truth is, even if I'm dressed nicely, I typically don't have to worry about people wanting to sit next to me. You know, sometimes people will recognize me, and they might want to sit next to me, but honestly, that hasn't happened.
That's got to be the worst. That's got to be the worst.
I'm the last middle seat on the plane most of the time.
Nice. You must have people try to sit next to you, though, just as many as tried to not sit next to you.
It hasn't happened. It has not happened.
That's got to be the
I do
worst
not
though.
have-
For like any like Amin, Dan, for all you like people that people know you, like if someone sits down to you next to it on a plane and then like 10 minutes in, it's just like big fan. That's got to be weird. Like the rest of this flight, I'm now sitting next to someone that knows me.
It's never 10 minutes. It's almost immediately. Sits down, buckles the seatbelt, and turns over like, big fan of your work, by the way. Like, shit.
Well, I don't know what's better here because the guy who did my testicular ultrasound didn't mention it until the end.
I imagine Dan buys all the seats around him so no one can do that.
What? On the private jet?
What do you do to make yourself look or seem unattractive, Chris Cody? What do you actively
I try to get wide. You know, I try to like I'm going real wide with my elbows. My legs are like you're seeing it all as you walk up because I'm just spreading my legs wide.
Pick your nose, any? Any kind of burping?
I might do the thing like I'm checking the smell of my armpit just to be like, let's see. Ooh, and I'll make a little face.
Little errant scratches here and there, like on your chest.
You gotta show butt crack.
Oh, that's a good
You gotta show
move.
butt crack.
Like
That's
bend
the
over.
one.
I'm in the Ricky boat.
Exactly.
I'm in a Ricky boat. No matter what, people don't want to sit by me on Southwest. They be like, I'm straight.
Well, hold on, Ricky.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a different question, also related to the middle seat. So on my flight here, it was a red-eye flight, and I was in the middle seat in the exit row. But when I looked over to the window seat, there was an older gentleman who had a cane, who I recognized needed a wheelchair to get on the plane. He was sitting in the window seat, and I thought to myself, should I snitch? Like, this guy's not capable of assisting in case of an emergency. Would that be cold-blooded, or is the game there, Ricky?
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's cold-blooded. Like, first of all, it's cold-blooded that you even noticed it. You know, that's like
Middle seat's a hellish place.
It is amazing that you're scanning the entire place and noticing something like that. But I also think that person needs to sit closer to the aisle in the event that they have to go to the bathroom or something during the flight, just to give them a little bit easier access.
Kudos to him. He didn't go to the bathroom one time during the flight. I know, because I couldn't sleep on my red-eye flight.
If you choose a window seat and you know you're a big bathroom person, you're a jerk. Right? If you have to go to the bathroom more than once in a flight, and even if it's a short flight, even once, you need to be on the aisle.
What is the jerkiest thing that people do on flight? And I'm not talking about the extremes, like when somebody gets drunk and shits on the cart,
Chris,
that's going through with the food and the drinks, which has happened incidentally. I'm talking about from the options. If your options are a person who puts their knees in your back when you recline, or recliner, or taking off your
recliner. It's the recliner.
No, hold on, I'm not done.
The person that doesn't.
I'm
the
not
person
done.
that does not care, doesn't look behind him and just like cranks back right into your lap.
Okay, but I
right?
got
like
more.
The computer like hit you in the face.
Hold on, but I've got more options.
more,
person
Ricky.
who takes off their shoes or socks on a flight.
Puts their feet
Roy and
up.
feet.
I mean, or this happened like a month ago. Somebody got onto a flight with a box, a full rack of ribs and sides, that just
delicious.
Chris.
So from among those, which are you choosing?
You left out one. The talkers, the loud talkers. Oh,
I would raise
they
that.
just talk loud the whole flight, and it's like, shut up. Oh.
Dan, I would raise you the ribs and say the person that brings tuna on a flight or any fish in general, they are diabolical.
Yeah, didn't you have like
evil.
a seafood incident on like a trans-Pacific flight?
No.
I flew from Japan, and the guy next to me the entire time was eating some sort of crunchy fried fish with his hands. It was it gave me
It
a
had crunch
headache.
to it. Nice.
It was nauseating. I think that's worse than ribs and sides. But who does that?
Who brings fish on a plane?
Whose judgment is so flawed that they say no, and who thinks of others so little that they come with a box of ribs and sides and sit on an airplane?
I'm not mad at the ribs and sides. At least that smells good, right? But with the fish, it's like, what's the word? It's the people who microwave fish in the work office microwave, right? Like what's the smelliest thing I can bring?
Tuna.
Yeah, in this captive zone for hours.
This wasn't just though fried fish. It was also some sort of exotic fried fish. It was some sort of very strange food that was not just fish. But since we're speaking of food to bother Amin on while he's fasting, you guys were talking about carnival food, and you got very excited when you were talking about carnival food. Ricky, I submit to you first. What is the best of the Carnival Foods? You can only choose one.
Carnival cotton candy.
Ooh, a bad choice.
Terrible
Oh,
choice.
that's bad.
Candy.
I got one. The funnel cake. Holy gosh, moly.
Now that's amazing, but that's a messy one. All of a sudden, my pants are covered in powder. Like it's a dangerous game, but it's a great answer by Juju.
Well, I got a top 5, everybody.
Oh, look out. Hold on a second, Ricky. You got top 5 Carnival Foods?
That's right. Top 5 Carnival Foods.
I thought you had top 5 Clevelander memories as well.
No,
I got lists
those
out
are presented
the
by
wazoo.
Miller Lite. This
Yeah.
one's not.
This one's not presented
This
by
is
Miller
not
Lite.
sponsored.
Although I wish it was.
Let's do it.
All right. Number 5.
No outside looking in.
No outside little. No, we're getting straight to the point, Dan. Number 5. Funnel cake. Number 4. Deep fried Oreo.
Good answer. Good answer.
Number 3. Roasted corn.
Above funnel cake.
That's right. That's right. You'll find out why in a second. You'll find out why in a second. Number 2, shish kebab. And number 1, the elephant ear.
The elephant ear is the funnel cake. It's the
No,
same
no,
thing.
no, 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 no. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Why? You know why? Because they put it in like in one of those like icing bags, and they put it in the fryer. That's the funnel cake. No.
It's the
no,
same
It's not the
thing.
same. No, it's not the same thing because the elephant ear they treat it like a pizza, and then they put it in the fryer.
Ricky, is it the same thing or is it not the same thing? The funnel cake and the elephant ear.
So, I feel left out of this conversation because when I was a kid going to carnivals, the only thing we could ever afford was the cotton candy. So I never had the luxury to.
Two Americas.
Oh, now what did you do?
Yeah.
You used you flipped the poverty card at us. Nobody was expecting that. We were just
privileged
having a
bastards.
happy time. It's not like you never went to a carnival in your adult wealthy life.
No, but I was already so impressioned from my childhood that we can't afford funnel cake that it just never was even in my conscience.
Cotton candy's terrible.
I just wasn't a funnel cake guy. Like, it's
You can't even get the popcorn.
Your biggest rival, you play at a state fair every year.
Yeah.
I don't believe this.
No, he says he only gets.
Listen,
cotton
when I was
candy.
walking through the state fair, I wasn't trying to stop and get a funnel cake. People were trying to chase me and ask for my autograph. So
But how many
I
times
had
have you
to
gone
get
to that
funnel cake.
game? How many? Oh, that's a look at me, Louis.
For real.
Look at me, Louis. Come on, you've probably been in that game at least close to like double digits. You've never popped in and
And
grabbed some
every
Carnival
time
food?
people were chasing me for my autograph, I wasn't trying to wait in the line to get a funnel.
Unbelievable.
I don't even know what a funnel cake is.
So,
You gotta be kidding me.
What?
How many times have you been at the Cotton Bowl and you never seen a funnel cake?
I
I've
can't believe
heard
that
the
was
term,
5 and 1.
and I'm sure I've seen it. I've heard the term, and I'm sure I've seen it, but I didn't have a connection where, that's a funnel cake. So
The
I'm sure if I saw it, I'd be like, oh yeah, that thing. But
The
when
only
you say funnel
difference-
cake, I don't have an image that pops up in my mind.
The only difference between a funnel cake and an elephant ear is textural. Like it's the
Presentation.
same exact ingredients. That's like saying, "Oh, I like square cut pizza and regular pizza," and having them in the top 5 when they're both pizza. Funnel cake number 5, and elephant ear number 1 makes 0 sense.
No, because I've seen fruit topping on a funnel cake. I've never seen that on an
can do
elephant.
that. That's just all right.
Fruit
the
topping on
presentation.
funnel
It's gotta be
cake.
a
What kind of
no for
funnel
me.
cake
No,
are you
can do
eating?
that. And I've seen tapioca pudding on top of an elephant ear. It's
Why
the
would
same
you put
exact.
tapioca pudding on an
Talking about
elephant ear?
toppings.
What the hell is that?
But we're talking about why would you put
It's a fruit topping.
one pizza has green pepper, the other pizza has
Corn
pepperoni.
is
It's still
delicious.
pizza.
Funnel cake has powdered sugar. Who puts fruit on their funnel
They
cake?
both do. So does an elephant ear. They shouldn't have been both in the same top 5. They're derivative.
No, they're not the same thing.
Yes, they are.
I
It's the
will
same
go
exact
to my
ingredients.
grave saying that it is not the same
It's
thing.
the same ingredients. You make it the same way.
That might
knew?
happen early.
The argument that would destroy the show was about funnel cake.
Roy, Juju, just give me a second. Roy,
You're so stubborn. Just admit you're wrong.
why would you walk all the way to your grave dying on this hill?
I want you to look at the ingredients.
again.
I've seen the ingredients.
No. Now you're
They're
just
presented
stop being
differently. It's
such
a
a
completely
man.
different situation.
You're being
I'm
such
on
a
it.
man right
No,
now.
I'm going to have to defend
Stop
my
being
list
such
here.
a stubborn man.
No, I refuse
and just
to stop being
admit they're derivative. They're the same
not
thing.
no, they're
You
not the
refuse
same
to
thing.
even Google it. They're the same
They're
thing.
not the same
What
thing.
does your
How
chart
dare
say?
you?
Oh, here we
There's
go.
How
something.
dare
There's
you,
something
sir?
that explains this.
I'm offended.
Here
Other
we
than the
go.
penis
This is
between
from,
your
from the
legs.
Try
Chicago
some.
from the
Oh,
Chicago
well, you know,
Tribune.
that's a good point.
An elephant ear is sweet pastry dough, and a funnel cake is a batter, like a pancake or waffle cake batter.
Yeah.
A dough is a batter.
Go to the
So
ocean.
hold on. The quote continues. So totally different, but similar, like people.
They have different
people.
Wikipedia entries. Dough is batter.
It's a pastry dough versus a batter.
Ingredients are different.
No,
We
they
need
both make pastries.
we need a
Cookies are pastries. What are you talking about?
we need a T-shirt that reads "No, I refuse to stop being stubborn."
It's Trump 2024.
Hey, no.
Yes.
What?
Yes. This
Yeah.
whole segment has been yes, no.
Yeah.
Like the entire segment is that's the same thing. No, it's not. We've been doing that for 12 minutes. Ricky,
We've been doing that for 20 years.
Two similar things. You can't put them in the top 5.
Ricky, good talking to you.
Thank you.
Oh, you know what that sound means?
We do?
I actually don't.
What does that sound mean
What is
other
it?
than we can't afford good music?
All it means is I asked Roy to get a bed for an upcoming benchmark, and we couldn't find anything that we liked, so I just dipped into the 1920s file.
Yeah.
For one last time here at the Clevelander, since we're moving studios presented to you by Miller Lite, we got a brand new segment. It's a betting segment, but it's totally different than Thursday Thunder, which is coming your way next. It's totally different.
It's not a parlay.
It's not a parlay, and this is a competition amongst friends and foes inside the shipping container, Dan.
We're all going to make picks, and we're going to keep track of our records over time. And we're going to see who in here can pick the most winners.
Against the spread.
And it's going to be me.
Yeah, and the name of this segment, Dan, is
Against the Spread. Brought to you by DraftKings.
Is that who it is?
I
Yes.
think the funnel cake and the elephant ear are synonymous the same way that Against the Spread and Thursday Thunder
No, that's
are
a
synonymous.
parlay.
Completely different thing.
This is a competition amongst friends and foes inside the shipping container to see
Yeah.
who's better picking against the,
the spread? And I'm going first.
All right.
I got mine because I don't want anyone else to take it. And, I don't know. Maybe we can pick the same one. I don't know the rules. I'm going Homer. The Sixers got their spot in the playoffs. The Heat are playing for stuff. The Heat tonight, +3 in Philly.
That line has been going down. It was larger because Philadelphia doesn't have anything to play for. Can we all, we're all picking different games now?
It can be. I think we can double up. I don't know if they didn't say anything specific about don't pick the same one. So if you want to take the Heat
They
too,
didn't.
No, I don't.
And that could
wanna
be part
take
of the
Heat.
strategy. Do you want to be in this?
I want to take the Sixers.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All
wow.
right, Dan's in it.
Okay.
We'll keep track of Dan.
-3.
Well, you get them against the spread.
Oh.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Roy, are you going to select a game?
Yeah, we got the Los Angeles Kings and the Vegas Golden Knights tonight. I'm going with the Los Angeles Kings +1.5.
little doggy.
Love getting 1.5 goals.
Little doggy.
Like, how can you lose? It's got to be a close game. It won't be.
You can
Why does he
lose.
talk like that?
I don't know. And I also don't know why we're doing another segment that's suspiciously like the one
No.
we're
No,
doing.
and
in
it's
the
called
first
totally
because-
different.
Against the spread.
That's where I think you get confused. Dan.
Yeah,
This one's
it's
against
a
the
totally
spread. That
different
one's
thing.
Thursday, Sun. Yeah, totally different.
It's like people.
Coming up next, parlays. Thunder.
It's a callback.
That's the difference, parlays.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a homer too. I'm going to go Heat +3.
Okay, this doesn't make sense if we're all picking the same
It's a
game.
cumulative
No,
thing,
it's
Dan.
different. It's different.
It's a long play. You want to stay with the pack and then separate yourself when you come down the final stretch.
Juju,
I
what are
went with
you
the Kings.
selecting?
I am selecting the Philadelphia 76ers
come
by
on,
3
man.
points. Get the
Honesty.
Heat out of here. Culture, schmocher. Back to you, Daniel.
Wow.
Thank you, Juju.
Room divided.
Mike Ryan, what are you?
Oh, don't come to me yet. Don't come to me
Okay,
yet.
Amin, what are you selecting?
I gotta go with the Vegas Golden Knights.
I see what he did there. Yeah, we're all getting wild.
Going.
I thought you were my brother.
I am, but you know what I gotta do? I gotta go.
Against the spread.
Yeah.
Mike Ronnie, we're petering out on the enthusiasm. 3 minutes into this new segment, Roy is just belching sounds that sound like he's running out of air.
So I'm really locked in to Colorado Rockies baseball.
Oh.
And this might be a sign for the upcoming segment. Next segment, which is Thursday Thunder, which is totally different than this one.
Which is
completely different.
Against the spread.
So look out for another Colorado Rockies pick coming your way. But in the meantime, I'm going to take Colorado Rockies money line.
All right, then.
Wait,
That's
no,
not
no,
against the spread.
I'm
Come on,
take
be better.
Colorado Rockies -1.5 against the
spread.
Against the spread, were you?
Dan, say against the spread. We keep doing it, and you don't do it. I need you to lead
I'm
this
going to
one.
take Rockies run line
Fit in.
against the spread.
Fun, right?
No, not really. Neither for us nor the audience.
How dare you?
One of the great joys of working with you guys. In a few years, you will all be replaced by artificial intelligence.
No.
And Amin is scared of the things happening, and we all should be a little bit scared of the things that are happening with artificial intelligence. What is the latest, Amin, that has you terrified?
I've been wanting this subject for weeks now, and you guys keep putting off. No one seems to be worried at all by this. So the new version of ChatGPT, ChatGPT-4, knows how to lie. And this is how they know it knows how to lie.
But this, for those who do not know, is a form of artificial intelligence that basically can write books in ways that are smarter than most artificial intelligence. Replaced students don't even need to do their own homework anymore because of what this thing does.
Dan, this ChatGPT-4 passed the bar in many states, if not every state in the country. Like, it passes the SATs. It does everything.
It's crazy. So the prior versions of ChatGPT, you say it could write a book. I would say it could write a paper, like a student who kind of knows the subject matter, but also likes the BS to meet the word count or whatever. But ChatGPT-4 basically violates all the rules of robotics and artificial intelligence that we say that separates us from them, which is the ability to lie. So this is what happened. They asked it to hire a TaskRabbit to identify the CAPTCHA. Now, if you guys know what CAPTCHA is, anytime you're logging into
I'm
a
not
site,
a robot.
the I'm not a robot stuff. It says how many pictures here.
How many bicycles are in this photo?
in this photo, right? So it obviously doesn't know how to do that. So what it does is it hires a TaskRabbit and says, I'll pay you $10 to tell me to answer the CAPTCHA for me. So the TaskRabbit, wise person this is, chats back, says, well, hold on. This is going to sound like a weird question, but are you a robot? And this son of a bitch, ChatGPT-4, says, no, I'm visually impaired and I have a problem.
Oh,
so that's why I need the help.
Wow. That's not funny.
Dude, that's what I've been trying to tell you guys. I'm terrified. And you guys are like, yeah, that's a funny topic. We'll get to it. This is the bar, this is the line. This is the bar where Terminator, where all the Isaac Asimov books, iRobot, whatever you want to call it. This is the part where they take over, man.
Pawns a queen too.
I'm seeing a story that the Writers Guild of America is going to allow artificial intelligence in script writing. So, like, is that going to steal jobs away from writers?
Roy, I don't care about it stealing jobs. I care about it pretending to be a human and getting away with it. That's the scary part.
I mean, A-Rod's been doing that for years. You know what that sound means by now.
Why is that back?
Why is that back?
Because Billy just walked in the studio.
I think he wants to play
Against the Spread.
Of course he does.
Whoa, watch out!
Of course Billy wants to play the game that annoys me. Are
Billy, you got to pick something against the spread. Who do you like?
I think I like. Who'd you guys go with?
Well, we're a split room here. A bunch of
The
people.
Los Angeles Kings.
I think I'm gonna go with the Heat.
We just broke a monitor.
Another one? He broke another monitor with champagne.
We have new ones.
He's gonna injure somebody. He's gonna
Stop
hurt.
spinning that, please.
Stop. It's like a weapon.
Do it at the glass. Do it at the glass.
This grass is so good.
Do it right at Amin for his camera. Screw this place. We're out of here. Let's all start breaking shit. Let's go.
I'm gonna let Stan.
Stand together as our lives change. Come whatever, we will still be friends forever. And that was.
What song is it?
Fireworks! Light it, Billy! And that was.
Against
the Spread!
We have another segment to do.
Oh. What?